Again, the reason this is called achieving racial equity and inclusion in business, education, wealth, and health, it's in all of our systems. That means we're all complicit. But what's the good news about that is that means we can all be a part of the solution. So if you work for one of those companies that has made a grand declaration about what they're going to do for equity and inclusion, we're asking you to join this movement, this grassroots movement, to really add a little additional pressure to those CEOs who, for years, you'll hear you'll hear Bill talk about this. This is not a new conversation. These same CEOs who said that they are 100% focused on changing things, this is a conversation we've had for years. So what we're bringing to you is a new conversation, a new activation, the opportunity to truly transform.
It's not enough to talk about it. It's not enough to, at some level, it's not enough to protest about it. It ought to be a call to action for us to do some things differently about it. And that's really what the essay was about. It was about the responsibility that we all have to change the status quo, to make a difference, to address systemic racism in some concrete ways that ultimately will lead to its demise. It's also a recognition that we have to hold ourselves accountable.
I want to draw awareness to the things that you don't want to talk about, that you want to sweep underneath the rug. That is the reality of the life that we live day in and day out. I'm done with trying to make you feel like it's okay. It's not your problem. It's not your fault. It is your problem. And until you recognize and realize that it is your problem, you're not going to do anything about it.
What it is that we need to really do in organizations. And they know, quite frankly, they know what they need to do. There is a CEO action plan that started about, 3 years ago, in 2017. And there are now well over 1,000 companies that have signed on with a commitment, a stated commitment to furthering diversity and advancing diversity and inclusion in the business. Yet and still today, we still see the tremendous disparities that have resulted from, I'll call it, false promises.
In this first session, what we did, and we were very specific, you'll see these guests and we're going to go into more specifics, but it was really about creating a case for change. We can't unite for change if we don't believe there's really something that needs to be changed. So when you think about the racial unrest in this country, and you think about people that are protesting in the streets of America today, they're protesting because of inequality, injustices, racism, abuse, trauma. And those same things that happen in the streets of America every day are also happening in corporate America. They're happening in every business in America.
Racism and discrimination against Black people is not a Black people's problem. It's not a problem that you have to ask us to fix something that we did not ask to participate in. We are not the problem. It's a collective. It is a humanity problem. And we've got to get our heads around that and understand and recognize that what has been done before is not working. So we need to clearly do something different.
What we're going to do with this Bigger Than Me Success Series is we're offering this to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are, from Microsoft to McDonald's, from the CEO to the janitor, from the East Coast to the West Coast, the North to the South. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone's welcome. It also doesn't matter where you are in your journey, because this is about creating a safe space for everyone to learn and grow.
We are trying to unpack and unbundle hundreds of years of, well, I won't call it racism, but discriminatory behavior, which is rooted in racism, So the work that needs to be done is, it has to be very intentional. It's got to be very focused. And leaders of the organizations really need to be clear about what it is that they're really talking about.
And again, the four themes that emerged around why that persists and continues to be a problem: unconscious bias, inequitable performance standards, lack of support systems, and CEO accountability measures.
Systems of inequity flourish because they convince people that they are powerless to stop them. That's it.
Hold on. No. You got to say that again. You got to say that again. Pause, uno momento.
Can't do it.
That's foundational. Systems of inequity exist because people believe they are powerless to change them.
Right.
So the fact that we still, we still don't graduate African Americans from high school at the same rate we graduate whites. They don't get into college at the same rate. They don't graduate college at the same rate. The fact that so I guess, maybe, so one takeaway, right, is that the past isn't the past is now.
We've got to be prepared for when this isn't the issue of the moment, and still work and still push forward, because it doesn't happen by itself. It happens because people make the effort on an ongoing basis, on a systemic basis, if you will, to change things.
A lot of times it's what each of us, I think, want to say, but when you're working inside of an organization, there's a paradox, right, that exists. You don't want to upset the apple cart. If you're one of those individuals who works inside of an organization and you've heard your CEOs make these grand declarations, but your lived experience is different, we are here for you. If you're an ally, a white professional or a white leader, and you're like, okay, there's obviously a problem here, but I don't know what to do about it, join us. Join this bigger than me movement. This is for you. It's for you. It's for us to really change things, change the status quo.